What is going on, guys? My name is Encrypted. Welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all are having yourselves one amazing freaking day. Guys, in today's video, we are going to be doing a top 5 video, and it's been a little while since I've done my last top 5. I think it's been a few months actually, and I haven't even done that many, to be fair. I think I've only done like 2 or 3. So yeah, this is going to be a new video. I haven't really done these before, but I really like the idea of them, and I want to start doing them more often. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this. But guys, this video is going to be on the top 5 best biomes to spawn in on Minecraft. So keep in mind, I did say the 5 best biomes to spawn in. Okay, so for example, the desert biome, that's not going to be on this list. Sure, it has good early game loot potential from, desert pyramids, but that's not really all it's about. We're actually looking for biomes that are well balanced in all areas. Maybe good early game loot potential or caving potential, food items like, animals and things like that, or fishing spots. We're looking for stuff like that. So, a desert biome, it's not going to be on this list. Just spoiler alert. But yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. And remember, this is just my opinion. I didn't look up any of this stuff online. I just kind of, gave my own opinion and, looked at all the facts I know already about biomes and things, and kind of just based it off that. So hopefully you guys do enjoy it. And if you do disagree or agree with any of the things I said, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, guys, if you have any suggestions for the next top 5 or top 10, top 15, whatever, if you have any suggestions for the next top 5 video, let me know below in the comments. I actually am very curious to know if you guys have any ideas at all. If you do and you leave it in the comments below, there's a good chance I'm gonna cover it, so make sure you leave those in the comments. Also, do like the video if you guys enjoyed. I would really appreciate that. It shows me that you guys like this kind of content and that you want to see more, and it means a lot to me in the end. So please definitely like the video. And guys, last but not least, make sure if you guys are new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, you definitely should subscribe. Also ring the post notifications as well. A lot of you don't have my notifications turned on, and that's totally fine, but if you guys do enjoy my videos and if you enjoy Minecraft Bedrock Edition content, you definitely should subscribe with the notifications turned on. Anyways, guys, I think I've said enough. Let's get into the number 5 spot on this list. Alright guys, number 5 on this list is going to be none other than the Mushroom Island, aka the Mushroom Biome. Guys, I know you're probably very surprised to hear this so low on the list, but there's a good reason for it. In the Mushroom Island, in case you guys didn't know, first of all, the reason it's such a good biome to actually spawn in is because there are no mobs at all. There's only one kind of mob that can spawn on this island, as far as I know, and that is the mushroom cow, or the mushroom. In case you guys didn't know, there are 2 types of cows. There's the brown cow, and then there's the mushroom cow. The mushroom cow has mushrooms on it, and you can actually shear these cows for mushrooms, or you could actually milk them for mushroom stew. But we're going to get into why this is actually a problem here in a minute. On top of that, there's also no hostile mobs. No hostile mobs can spawn in this biome. Literally none. No witches, no endermen, no creepers, no zombies, skeletons, none of it. There's nothing that can spawn in this biome. And the best thing is, that means if you go into caves or really dark areas or go out at night, you are totally 110% safe. Nothing can even touch you in this biome, which is pretty crazy. So you would think, why is this not on the number 1 spot? The reason for that is because you are going to starve before you can even get attacked by mobs. The reason for that is because there's no wood on the island. What's the first thing you do in Minecraft? As soon as you spawn in, what is the first thing you do? You hunt for wood. You go for a tree, mine it as fast as you can, and start building. Guess what? You can't do that if you spawn on a mushroom island. There are no trees. There's mushroom trees, but that's not wood. You can't use that to make pickaxes. You can't use it to make bowls for mushroom stew. You can't use it for anything. So what do? You gotta go find another biome or another island that has trees on it, and that could take a while. On top of that, if you do spawn on a mushroom island, that means you're gonna have to swim to the nearest island to find wood. You won't even be able to take a boat because there is no wood to build a boat with. So you're gonna be using a lot of your food right away. So that's why it's on the number 5 spot. Even though it has so many good food capabilities at the beginning of the game, even though there's not a single hostile mob that can even attack you, you're going to starve to death before you can even find a mob to get killed by. So that is why it's on the number 5 spot. It's still a good enough biome to put on the list, but just not good enough to be up any higher than 5. Now, moving on to the fourth best biome in the game to spawn in, I would have to say it would probably be the Taiga biome or the Mega Taiga. I'm sure this probably comes as a surprise to you guys, just like the number 5 spot did, but again, hear me out, there's a good reason why I have it on number 4 instead of, number 5 or even off the list. The Taiga biome doesn't really provide that many different food sources or animal sources or anything like that, and it only has one kind of tree, which is the spruce tree, and it's basically just a giant spruce forest, to be honest, with tons of hills and things. So you would think, why is this such a good biome to spawn in? What's the point? The point is, you can actually find 2 specific animals in this biome that will help you tremendously, not even just in the beginning of the game, but throughout the whole game. And there's one food source here that is going to be a total game changer for your survival. And that food source is the sweet berry bush. Yes, I'm sure you knew that was what I was going to say. It's pretty much the only food source in the entire biome, but that's the only food source you're really going to need. Sweet berry bushes don't really provide that much food, but the thing is, you can actually get a lot of them in bulk, okay? If you grow a ton of them early in the game, all you have to do is just plant one berry down and just wait for a few minutes for it to grow. It grows fairly fast, it heals a little bit of your hunger, not a ton, but it heals enough. And you can actually get a ton of these things early on, as long as you plant a bunch of them. The other great thing about sweet berry bushes is that they actually provide as a defense force against other mobs or animals or other players or anything like that. Anything that touches them immediately start taking damage. The reason for this is because when the sweet berry bush starts growing, it starts out as a small little plant. It makes it so your movement is really slow whenever you stand in it. But if it starts growing a little bit, once it grows to its next stage, it actually gets spikes on it. And then the third and final stage of its growth is when it has multiple berries on the entire bush, and it will actually have a lot more spikes, and it's going to deal more damage, and it's going to be harder to get through. So it's kind of like a painful cobweb, if anything. If you've ever fallen into a sticky cobweb in the game, you move really slow. That's kind of what this is, only it's going to damage you just for standing in it. So if you were to plant like a whole row of these in front of your house, it would actually provide as a line of defense to any mobs that try to come near it. It would actually be pretty helpful. And believe it or not, that is not the only thing sweet berry bushes can do. If you take the sweet berries, you can actually feed them to foxes, which are the main inhabitant of the taiga biome. If you feed them to a fox, usually the fox will be tamed and will then be yours. And if you drop an item, if you didn't know this, you can actually drop items that foxes will pick up. They'll pick up the item in their mouth. You could drop anything, they'll pick it up in their mouth. But if you drop a sword, for example, and the fox picks up the sword in its mouth, and if it gets aggravated and attacks a certain mob while the sword is in its mouth, it's going to deal that sword damage to the mob as it attacks it. So it's going to be really powerful if you gave it like a diamond sword or even just an iron sword. And on top of all of that, there's still yet another mob in the biome that can actually assist you as well, which I'm sure most of you know what this is as well. It's the wolf. If you find bones in the world, such as from killing skeletons or finding them in chests or killing fish, you can take these bones and feed them to wolves. And if the wolf likes you enough, it will be tamed by you, and then it will be yours. And then anything that attacks you, anything at all, a zombie, a skeleton, a spider, if it comes up and attacks you, then the wolf will go and hunt it down and it will kill it itself. So all of those reasons are why I think the number 4 spot definitely deserves to be the taiga biome. And for the third spot on the list, we are going to have it as the plains biome. Again, I'm sure you guys probably saw this one coming. The plains biome is such a good biome to spawn in. It's such a typical biome to spawn in as well. It's a common one for sure, but it's still very, very, very good to spawn in. It's such a basic biome, but it has so many important things that are essential to surviving on the first night, second night, throughout the whole game, all in one biome. You can find villages here, you can find trees, there's tons of flat land to build on, open cave sources all over the place, but there's one thing in particular that the plains biome does that no other biome really does that I think definitely gives it the third place spot on the list. And that is the abundance of animals. There are so many animals all over this biome. It's actually crazy. Not even just one kind of animal either. There's multiple animals. There's chickens, cows, pigs, horses, all this stuff, man. There's so many different animals you can use, so many different food sources, so many different materials you can gather from them, all early in the game. It's actually kind of a very big deal. And like I said before, of course there's the open cave sources you could use to get, you know, early game coal and iron and stuff right away, or even live in a cave. There's all kinds of, you know, village opportunities. You can find tons of villages here. It's a bunch of flat land. You could build houses and things like that as well. There's a lot of reasons why the plains biome definitely deserves to be on the list, but I decided to put it on number 3. I didn't want to be too predictable. I didn't want to put it at number 1. Now guys, number 2 is going to be the jungle biome. The reason I have the jungle biome on here is because, first of all, there's obviously early game wood. You're literally spawning in a jungle, so there's wood everywhere, so that's covered right out the gate. But the other thing is the food source. There's actually some food you can find pretty early in there, which is melons. You can take the melons. First of all, you're gonna have a ton of melons just right out the gate. If you break 1 melon, it's probably gonna drop you 4 to 7 pieces of watermelon, which is a really good early game food source. There's also some animals that'll spawn. I know I've seen sheep in there before and things like that, so you could use that. You could fish for some food as well. Not to mention, the jungle is actually full of different kinds of animals as well that can actually be tamed, such as pandas. You could find bamboo scattered all throughout the forest. There's usually like mini bamboo forests in the jungle forest. You can take some of the bamboo and tame these pandas early in the game, and you could use those to your advantage as well. Now, in my opinion, I'd say the thing that gives the jungle a bit of an edge over the other biomes is its crazy terrain. It has so many hills, so many bumps and, you know, things laying on the ground, so many, you know, piles of brush or leaves and things like that, different trees. It has so much going on, so much stuff in the way that it makes it so congested to the point where the game has a hard time spawning hostile mobs in. In case you didn't know, hostile mobs cannot spawn on leaves, or at least not in Bedrock Edition. And what is all over the floor in the jungle? Leaves, pretty much everywhere. So mobs are already going to have a difficult time spawning just because of that mechanic in the game, and on top of that, mobs aren't even going to be able to really spawn anywhere. There's so much stuff just totally covering the whole area. They don't really have room to even get in there. And another added bonus I would say to this would actually be the fact that there is early game loot potential from the jungle temples. If you guys haven't seen them before, there are a few scattered jungle temples throughout each jungle. Usually there's at least 1 or 2, sometimes even 3 or 4. You could go in these temples and loot them for early game, like, loot, I guess. Only downside is that jungles are a little bit rare, so I wouldn't expect to just spawn in one randomly, but who knows, maybe you will. Regardless, that is the number 2 spot. Now guys, it is time for the number 1 spot on this list, which is definitely going to come as a surprise to you guys. I can already tell you that right now. You definitely have no clue what I'm about to say, but I'm just going to say it. Number 1 spot is the ocean biome. Yep, I said it. The ocean biome. What? The ocean biome? Why the ocean biome? What is the point of that? What is that even going to do? The ocean biome is an interesting biome because before I would have never even considered putting that on the list of anything because it was so bland and boring. There was really nothing to do there. But thanks to Update Aquatic, they have added so many different things to do in the ocean that it almost makes it kind of overpowered, to be honest. And honestly, a lot of this stuff I don't even need to say. You guys probably already know what I'm going to say. But first of all, loot. There's a lot of sunken ships, a lot of, you know, underwater ruins, a lot of treasure chests buried on each island, tons of powerful, very powerful early game loot. We're talking stacks of iron, gold ingots, diamonds, emeralds, all this stuff, dude. Not to mention all of these drowned living in the ocean. You could actually kill these guys fairly easily, to be honest, and get their tridents. They all could drop a trident. It's not super common, but they can, and tridents are stronger than diamond swords. And not to mention, drowned are the only mob you will be able to find that's hostile in the ocean. There's literally nothing else that can spawn. The only way another mob could spawn in the ocean is if it spawned on an island or something. Now, obviously, you're going to be living on islands, but most islands are too small for anything to spawn on anyway, especially if you're in the radius of them. And the other cool thing is that a lot of neutral mobs can spawn on these islands as well, such as pigs, cows, sheep. All that stuff can spawn here. So you've got your wood covered, you've got your animals covered, but let's say you didn't get animals. Let's say the game was being really stingy with animal spawns, you couldn't find any animals. What do you do then? If you do end up finding some string, which should be pretty easy, it's usually in a lot of the chests underwater, or you could kill a spider and get it. Whatever way you need to, you get some string and then take that string and take some sticks and make a fishing rod. once you make the fishing rod, you could just fish for your food. You're all around water. It's not like anything's gonna hurt you then. You know, if you're on a small island, nothing can spawn behind you and kill you. So just fish for tons of food. And best of all, whenever you fish, you're not just gonna catch fish. You're gonna catch all kinds of things. You're gonna catch junk items. You're gonna catch treasure items such as enchanted books, enchanted rods, enchanted bows. You're gonna catch saddles. You're gonna catch name tags, all this stuff. And to be honest, there's a few other things you can actually do with ocean biomes, such as kelp. You can actually use kelp as an early game fuel source. You can actually take the kelp, use a furnace and smelt all the kelp, or cook it, whatever you want to call it, cook all the kelp, and then take 9 pieces of kelp and turn it into a kelp block. That kelp block can be used to smelt 20 pieces of anything in a furnace. Yeah, you know, actually oceans are kind of overpowered now that I think about it. I didn't even realize until now. They are very, very overpowered. Anyways, guys, that is gonna wrap up this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully my decisions didn't trigger any of you guys. Like I said, this isn't gospel or anything. You could literally take this as a grain of salt. This is just my opinion. This is just the stuff I've come up with throughout playing the game and learning all this stuff about biomes and different facts and things. And just in my head, I just think these, you know, items, these things on the list kind of are, you know, real and have some truth to them. So that's just my opinion though. But guys, if you do disagree with any of my things on this list, it's no big deal. Just let me know in the comments below what you think I did wrong and what I could have done better. I actually am very curious to know, because there's a lot of biomes in the game, over like 40 of them, so I definitely could have missed one for sure. But anyways, guys, I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and remember, if you want to see more top 5 videos, leave a like and let me know in the comments below what you think I should cover next. And also subscribe if you guys are new with the post notifications turned on so you don't miss any of my future videos or streams. And yeah, that should just about wrap it up. Hopefully you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.